Earlier today, there was a bit more traffic. As you can see right now, it's not so bad on I-90 behind me. This year, 31 million Americans are going to hit the roads for the Thanksgiving holidays, and evidence of those travelers are at just about every gas station and rest stop you can see. This is actually the most difficult day of the weekend because normal rush hour traffic is combined with this holiday travel as well. And Brandon and Nicole, also, I've been told by the owners of some of these gas stations that this is actually their busiest weekend of the year. Back to you guys.
Packed?
Well, Brandon, it is. The walls are about 3 to 4 feet thick in some places, and this elevator has survived a fire before. It even has the patch marks to show it. Also, because fires in elevators can be so dangerous and common, firefighters practice what to do in the event of an emergency. I'm walking through what used to be Parkersburg City Hall. You can see desks just torn to shreds. And all that remains are some small memories of the city of Parkersburg. This suit contains my own environment. In fact, you need an oxygen tank just to breathe with it closed. If you see people wearing these suits, it's a good idea to head the opposite direction. Dozens of businesses in the River City filled with water after the levees broke.
In terms of number of businesses, I'm not exactly sure. We're going to go visit one here in just a little while.
Like Metalcraft, a company more than 50 years old with 75 employees. Its basement had about 6 feet of water.
Oh, it's nasty. It doesn't smell good.
Fortunately, the water didn't get up to the second floor.
They're working to pump that water out, but lost some of their product.
We had some equipment down there. We got some of it moved out, but we lost some equipment.
You know, it's good to see this so we can better understand the challenges that individuals and businesses are dealing with.
This is where the water was on the Metalcraft building. Not only are businesses flooded, but every business in Mason City is affected by this record flood.
Certainly dozens were impacted by water damage, but every business, including all the restaurants, are not open.
And like Metalcraft, many of them don't have flood insurance to cover damages.
We're hoping for some assistance to help with that.
While residents and business owners wait and see if they'll receive federal aid for repairs, they're trying to dry out as best they can. Annie Stensrud, ABC 6 News.
This is the largest flag in the state of Minnesota.
Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi spent her morning learning about issues faced by veterans in Minnesota.
But here's the thing, over and over and over again, no matter what the issue was that people were bringing up, they said it would be better served if people knew more about what was available to them.
The panel told Speaker Pelosi that vets who live in southern Minnesota need to drive all the way up here if they need medical care. And not only is that expensive, but some can hardly tolerate the ride.
Trying to get up here for a 7:30 appointment in February can be quite challenging, not to even discard the fact that it costs a lot nowadays.
Since southern Minnesota does not have a veterans clinic, veteran Ken Delano has to drive from Albert Lea to the VA in the Twin Cities for his appointments. Veterans are reimbursed 28.5 cents for every mile they drive to the VA. Until this year, that number was 11 cents, an amount set back in 1979.
The ability to get these community-based outpatient clinics where they're needed is one of the critical things.
If we can allow it so that the local hospitals can be the immediate or first provider, that'll save the time, distance, travel, and so forth.
Using local clinics as primary caregivers would allow the VA to focus on the most specialized cases.
I am very encouraged that they're going to actually do something about all of this. Not just my issue, but the issue of the young guys that are coming back.
The panel was encouraging for many as Speaker Pelosi promised to seek solutions. In Minneapolis, Annie Stensrud, ABC 6 News. Many sidewalks in Austin are still covered in ice and snow. And almost everyone is trying to get that ice off their sidewalks before it's too late, including Robert Schwab.
I didn't get back until Sunday night, and so then we had to start working on it. We've been working on it ever since.
Schwab's chiseling away, hoping to prevent falls.
I fell a couple times this morning just about, trying to get ice off, and so I didn't want anybody to fall.
If you don't clear the snow and ice off your public sidewalk within 12 hours of the snowfall's end, the city will have it cleared for you and send you the bill. And some homes are so slippery, the mail carriers can't even deliver the notifications.
If we feel it's dangerous, then we don't go up, we just hold the mail till the sidewalks are clear.
Mike Stackenwalt says he's had to hold on to some homes' mail because it was just too dangerous to get close.
We did have a carrier go down with a serious injury. He broke his collarbone yesterday.
Some of those culprits are foreclosed properties, and with nobody around to get the city's notice to clean up or pay for snow removal, the banks foot the bill.
Trying to be a little understanding about that, give them a little extra time, but people still need to get out and put something on there.
Especially since more snow is here and more is on its way.
I'm afraid we're going to have to blow again tomorrow, if it's going to snow like Fred says it is.
If you'd like to avoid a bill from the city and make it a little easier for your mail carrier, shovel off that sidewalk. Annie Stensrud, ABC 6 News.
Other communities.
Well, the National Weather Service says there's about a 78% chance the Red River will crest at major flood stage of 46 feet in Grand Forks. The community set a record last fall with a foot of precipitation. Since then, we've received nearly 4 feet of snow. Meteorologists say March and April will bring on a La Nina period, meaning we'll likely see cooler temps and more chances for rain and snow. National Weather Service hydrologist Mike Lukes says the highest chances for cresting above the flood stage will happen between April 7th and the 14th. It's day 2 of the digital switchover for WDAZ. Some antenna users are still trying to work out the kinks. Yes. Meanwhile, the formation of a task force has Grand Forks Air Force Base a step closer to getting its own UAVs. The group will talk about how to designate airspace for UAV flight without hindering commercial aircrafts. People from the Air Force, FAA, local and federal governments talked today about ways to safely operate any future Air Force UAV missions. They agree that rules and guidelines need to be established to keep the timeline on track. And in order for the base to begin any missions, the FAA must agree on the airspace regulations. The Warren City Clerk and Treasurer is back on the job after being placed on paid administrative leave January 14th. Warren Mayor Bob Kleiner says C.T. Marhula was only on leave for about a week. The paid leave was to investigate complaints over Marhula's management style. Marhula is a former Grand Forks School Board member. He also ran unsuccessfully for Grand Forks County Commission last year.